All right. Well, the time is 6:01. I'm calling to order a called meeting of the City Council of the City of Sunset Valley, Texas for Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. And we'll begin with public comments. If there's anybody that wishes to speak at this time, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. All right. Seeing that there's no public comments, we'll go right on to agenda item number 3, which is the inauguration and swearing in of new City Council members Karen Medicus, David Burrell, and Rudy Rosengarten, per ordinance number 230905-B. And council, we don't need to have a motion since this is not canvassing the election, so we're going to go ahead and proceed directly to the oaths of office. And Karen, let's go ahead and start with you. We'll step before the podium's here.
John, is this becoming too boring?
Will this work over here? Or do you want me to carry it? I can hold it like that. All right. All right. If you can repeat after me. So, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
I, Karen Medicus,
I, Karen Medicus,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute.
Do solemnly swear that I will affirm and execute.
The duties of the office of city member for the city of Sunset Valley.
The office of the city of Sunset Valley.
Of the state of Texas.
Of the state of Texas.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
The Constitution and the laws of this state, so help me God.
All right. Welcome.
Okay.
David, if you want to step up. I'll try to truncate it in smaller chunks this time. I learned my lesson. Oh, great. That's a cheat sheet. That's excellent. All right. If you can repeat after me, please. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
I, David Burrell.
I, David Burrell.
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of city member for the city of Sunset Valley.
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley.
Of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Of the state of Texas, and will do my best, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
All right, welcome. Congratulations. Thank you, Melissa. That's great. Okay. All right. Councilman Rosengarten, do you want to raise your right hand? Repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
I, Rudy Rosengarten, do solemnly swear or affirm that, go ahead.
I, Rudy Rosengarten, do solemnly swear or affirm.
That I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas.
That I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sunset Valley of the state of Texas.
And will do, to the best of my ability, to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
You got a piece of paper.
Welcome to our new council members and our new council for the next year. Certainly appreciate everybody's service and return to service for those of you that are recommitting yourselves. With that, we have seated the new council, so we're going to go on to agenda item number 5, which is a presentation to outgoing council member Wanda Reitz. And so this is going to be some gifts that we have for staff and a plaque of appreciation. But first of all, Wanda, I really wanted to say thank you so much for your service. It's been an honor serving with you. I feel that I've learned quite a bit from your approach to matters and guidance. Certainly I've grown hopefully as a mayor over the last 4 years, and I think a large part that's been, or last 3 years, and that's been a large part because you were there to help with that process. And I do want to make sure that everybody else has a chance, if they want to say a few words, but just thank you so much for your service to the city. And if anybody else would like to say anything, please do so at this time. Feel free to speak out. Councilmember Rosengard.
I just want to,
It has been maybe not 4 years because
3
I
years,
think
yeah.
3 years, one of those was in COVID. But you're always, I mean, to someone that is not always super prepared, I know it's probably like a weird thing to say, but it's like, you're always so prepared. And to me, that's like amazing that people are prepared for things. And I do my best, but like, I'm a disaster. But you always have such great ideas, and you always like push me to like really go for it when like I'm kind of like on, like, if I'm gonna put forward an idea, you're just like, go for it, go for it. You just, in my ear. So I've really appreciated that. And we went through some pretty rough times in the last 4 years, and we always came out like kind of as a family up here, and you were a big part of that. So thank you so much.
Councilmember Young.
One, I wanted to thank you for your service, not just on city council, but also on the finance committee, where when I came on, you were the vice chair, and you were one of the people that I looked to for, how do I do this? Because at the time I didn't know, and you were great, and that was a good part of my experience being on the finance committee. So thank you.
And Wanda, just beyond your years of service, you've left quite a legacy for the city. Certainly the work on Upper Cougar Creek, which is now the Savannah Trail. I know that was a long process, but you were one of the champions and the early champions for that, as well as the rainwater harvesting and the landscape rebates that we set aside a significant amount of funding for, and we're actually seeing realized now this year. So I think those are things that are major accomplishments, that the city is going to benefit from and all the residents can take advantage of too. So thank you again for taking on such large projects and, seeing them through. With that, I think what we'll do is do a presentation of a plaque. Wanda, if you want to stand up here. So this is I'll try to speak loud. A recognition of our appreciation for the city for your 4 years of service from 2019 to 2023 as a council member of the city of Sunset Valley. So I hope that this is something that you can cherish and carry forward. And as well, we have some nice gifts that staff has put together. So, wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Yes. And oh my gosh.
Of course. And Wanda, if there's anything that you want to say, feel free to stand up to the podium.
I believe this might be community property.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much. I do have a few things, a few comments to make. It's on. Can you not hear me? It's green. Can you hear me? Okay. So Mark, first of all, I just want to tell you thank you. I think you are doing such an outstanding job as mayor. What I particularly like about you is that you have this ability to, whatever we go on and on and on about, you can summarize it so quickly, and you do it without any judgment. And I really think that makes for really good decision making. So I think you're doing an outstanding job. Rob, I've loved sitting next to you. You're really fun. I love the earnestness in which you approach this job, this role. You always want to find that that win-win solution, and it's not always there all the time. And I know you struggle with it, and I find that very appealing, and I think that what makes you a really good council member. Karen, we've worked forever together. You know, when I moved here in 2015, I joined the Arts Commission, and you were the first person that I really got to know. And you and I have worked on many projects. I think we have complemented each other in our skill sets. You are very process-oriented. I was always, let's get this done, you know? And so that push and pull has kind of worked well. So I've really enjoyed working with projects, you know, particularly the Savannah Trail with you. So thank you. Rudy, you're the person that I always call, you know. I mean, whenever I had a question, I always called you because, one, your historical knowledge, you always knew the past, why that decision was made, et cetera. And you also offered good advice. And I really appreciated that. And I hope that the citizens of Sunset Valley recognize your diligence that you put into your work. So, thank you. And Chip, you and I haven't had many projects this year. So, but I am really excited about your new project, the Reimagine Brody. I assume you're going to be involved in that, and I know you're going to do a good job, and I think it's going to be a great project. It will follow along, I think, with the Savannah Trail, and it'll be good for our retail and good for our citizens. So thank you for that. Well, yeah, I hope you do better. So, staff, thank you. You guys, I cannot tell you how responsive y'all are. And every time I needed something, from, you know, just a little thing, to, you know, from, you know, somebody taking out the trash too early in the morning, to whatever I needed, y'all were always there for me. And I want to particularly say how much I've enjoyed watching both you, Carolyn, and in your leadership roles. And I really loved watching that, and good luck to you guys. So, and to our residents, you know, thank you for trusting me for 4 years. You've been there. And, you know, I would come. It's been my honor. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, and you were always there to listen and to be a support for me. And I really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you all.
So council, I would like to take a brief break so we can enjoy the food that was brought by staff, and we can, you know, mingle a little bit. Why don't we plan on resuming at 6:25, so that gives us about a 10-12 minute break, and we can come back and do the rest of the business that's on our agenda. So we'll break right now at 6:14. We'll resume at 6:25. right, are we still recording, Matt? Are we good? Okay, great. All right. All right. Well, welcome back, and we're going to proceed with our next two agenda items before we consider anything on consent. So we do have two items of business. One is item number 6, which is the election of the mayor pro tem as required by section 22.037 of the Texas Local Government Code. And so, Council Member Medicus.
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Young.
Okay, there's a nomination for Councilmember Young. And just as a reminder, we can take multiple nominations. The nominations are now open. If we only have one person nominated and nobody else gets nominated, then we can appoint by acclamation. Councilmember Rosengard.
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Johnson.
Councilmember Johnson. Okay, there's 2 nominations. And there's no second required, just as a matter as well. Any further nominations? Okay, we're going to close the nominations. And Councilmember Young, are you willing to serve as mayor pro tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson, are you willing to serve as mayor pro tem?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the way this will proceed is that we'll vote. The majority, everybody gets 1 vote, and the majority person will win and be appointed as mayor pro tem. If there's a tie, which there shouldn't be, in 5 council members, then we'll revote until somebody is elected.
May I ask?
Yes.
Why don't you tell them how difficult the job is?
We know what you're getting into. So the mayor pro tem role is to serve in the place of the mayor when the mayor is not present. The mayor pro tem is also legally bound through certain requirements for check signing, things that, is also just a little bit, more requirements as far as the service. It has happened a few times that, the mayor pro tem has to step in, not this last year, but the year before that, when I had some absence due to family health issues. And then I think you've signed checks once for so, but all that's going away with our new Tyler Technologies. We're going to be doing some electronic check signings going forward, so the manual process will actually get a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do this in order of nomination. So all those for Councilmember Young for Mayor Pro Tem, raise your hand, please. All those for Councilmember Johnson? All right. So the 4 votes for Councilmember Young, 1 vote to Councilmember Johnson. Councilmember Young is elected as Mayor Pro Tem for the next year. All right. All right. Easy peasy. All right. Anything else we need to do for that one, Matt? Okay. All right. We're going to move on to item number 7, which is consider assignment of council member liaisons to standing committees and the Arts Commission as required by Chapter 31 of the city's Code of Ordinances. And council, what we usually do is we could do it in mass. I think we've done that in the past year. So if there's a nomination that wants to cover everything, or if you want to do it by each committee, we can do that as well. But it might be easier if we just start with a motion for assigning out all. We can also, once we have a motion, discuss, and there can be amendments to that motion if we want to as well. So remind me of the current services that we have. I think it's in our backup, but just as for the public as well.
Yes. So Councilmember Rosengarten is currently was the liaison for the Budget and Finance Committee. Outgoing Councilmember Reitz was the liaison for the Community and Economic Development Committee. Councilmember Medicus was the liaison for Planning and Environmental Committee and the Arts Commission. Councilmember Johnson was the liaison for the Public Safety Committee, and Councilmember Young, the liaison for the Public Works Committee.
Council, if nobody wants to start with a motion, I might ask if anybody has any statements they want to make as far as any changes or preferences for the committees that they're currently serving on if they want to continue service. Councilmember Medicus.
I'd like to continue with Planning, Environmental, and Arts Commission.
Thank you for taking on 2 committees. That's, I know, more work. Former Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Johnson.
I'm happy to stick with public safety. It's been a really good working relationship over there, and yeah.
Councilmember Rosengarten.
I'd like to stay with budget and finance.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I was going to ask new council member Burrell if he would like to, because of his background in engineering, would like to be the liaison for Public Works.
Mayor?
Councilmember Burrell?
Yeah, I would be very happy to serve on Public Works. I think it could be very good.
Okay?
And Mayor Pro Tem, would you be okay serving on CED?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we can have a clean motion then, if anybody wants to start with one. Councilmember Burrell, do you want to do your first motion?
Yes, I would be pleased to. Thank you very much. I move that we adopt the liaisons to the standing committees and the Arts Council as agreed.
Okay. So the motion is to, per the discussion, appoint the liaisons. So that'll be Councilmember Johnson to Public Safety, Councilmember Burrell to Public Works, Councilmember Medicus to the Arts Commission and to the Planning Environmental, Councilmember Rosengarten to Budget and Finance, and Mayor Pro Tem Young to the CED, the Community and Economic Development Committee. A second for that? Councilmember Medicus?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Thank you very much. I'm excited to work with the committees in your roles, and it'll be fun to continue that with a new member as well. All right, so council, we are going to move on to item number 8, which is council consideration of agenda items for approval on consent. We are pulling number 12 because we have a change. We have a late applicant that we're going to be adding to this. So 12 is something we're going to deal with outside of consent. Councilmember Rosengarten.
I move to approve on consent agenda item number 9, number 10.
Is that with corrections?
Yes, with
Okay.
corrections.
All right.
Number 10, number 13, and number 14.
All right, so approval on consent is 9, 10, 13, and 14. Does anybody want to take one of those items off of the list? All right, is there a second for that?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor of approving on consent item number 9 with corrections, 10, 13, and 14, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes. We approved on consent. Item number 9, consider and act on approval of the minutes from October 17, 2023 regular meeting. Item number 10, canceling the December 5th, 2023 and January 2nd, 2024 regular city council meetings. As a reminder, council, we do have our working session on November 28th, which is just going to be focused on, it's not going to be agenda or voting items. And we also have our council retreat on December 13th in place of the December 5th meeting. Item number 13, approval of a temporary special use permit for Stout House to hold a Christmas market on Saturday, December 9th, 2023 at 4715 South Lamar. And item number 14, approval of a resolution approving the Travis County Hazard Mitigation Plan update. All right, council, that'll take us to our next agenda item, which is item number 11. Consider and act on approval of a proclamation for the November 14th, 2023 grand opening of WellMed Clinic at Ben White and Austin WellMed Charitable Foundation Senior Community Center. And Councilmember Rosengarten, did you want to speak to this item? Item number 11, the...
Number 11, no, I simply wanted you to read the proclamation.
Sure. Do you have a copy of the proclamation? I don't have a paper copy. I can bring it up on electronic. Or if you want to, I can read it from here, yeah.
I figured that's what.
We had to prove it, yeah, so I just want to get it ready, so. All right. So is there a motion to approve the proclamation? All right, is there a second? All right. All those in favor of approving the proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. I read this once earlier today, so I should be well practiced. This is a proclamation by the mayor and city council of the city of Sunset Valley, Texas. Whereas the city of Sunset Valley takes great pride in its commitment to the health and well-being of its residents, particularly its esteemed older adult population, and whereas WellMed has earned an esteemed reputation for its dedication to excellence, compassion, and innovation in the field of healthcare, consistently setting the standard for patient-centered care, and whereas the establishment of the WellMed at Ben White Clinic and Austin WellMed Charitable Foundation Senior Community Center marks a significant milestone in the continued provision of high-quality healthcare and community services to the beloved seniors of Sunset Valley, and whereas the addition of this state-of-the-art facilities to our community not only signifies progress, but also reaffirms Sunset Valley's enduring pledge to the health and happiness of all its citizens. Now, therefore, I, Mark Bruner, Mayor of the City of Sunset Valley, do hereby proclaim November 14, 2023 as WellMed at Ben White Clinic and Austin WellMed Charitable Foundation Senior Community Center grand opening day in the city of Sunset Valley. I urge all citizens to join me in celebrating this momentous occasion, recognizing the profound impact this clinic and senior center will have on the lives of older adults and their families. All right. So just a few words, several of us had a chance to attend the grand opening, and staff also supported that, and thank you, staff, for all the work that you put in to support the development. It is a benefit that's going to, I think, resonate with all our community. It's something that's available to anyone 60 and older to take advantage of their activity center. They also have a clinic that you can get health care through that's co-located. And I think it's going to be great to have that as to both our residents, but also the larger community around us. So, all right. We'll move on to our last agenda item, which is number 12. Consider an act on the appointment of Tom Siddell, Sandy Cox, Susan Durso, and Richard Hayes as regular members of the Board of Adjustment for a 1 or 2 year term. And we do have a staff update because we did get a late applicant that we want to add to this.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Ravi Srinivasan, who was appointed last year for the unexpired term, did get in his application and is willing to serve again. I also spoke with Walter Jenkins, who's a former council member and a former member of the Board of Adjustment, and he is willing to serve as an alternate, which it's always great to have an alternate when a case comes up and a regular member can't attend. So those are the two late applicants. So Ravi Srinivasan as a regular member and Walter Jenkins as an alternate member.
So Council, we can take a motion to include the late applicants in addition to the ones that are listed in the backup. So that'd be Ravi Srinivasan and Walter Jenkins as alternate. Okay. Well, Councilmember Medicus, did you?
Make a motion to consider an act on the appointment of Tom Siddell, Sandy Cox, Susan Durso, and Richard Hayes as regular members, along with the 2 additional members who've come along.
And Walter Jenkins as an alternate member.
Right.
Correct. Okay. Is there a second for that? Councilmember Medicus? Okay. Multiple seconds. Any further discussion on that? And
No.
thank you all who are willing to serve. I know that that's a long commitment, 2 years, but it's great that we have residents who are willing to recommit themselves. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. Well, Council, this has been a quick meeting, but it's also a celebratory meeting, so.
I move to adjourn.
I second.
Is there a second? Oh, wait. Traditionally, it's we let the new council member either second
Go.
or, yeah, go ahead.
Go.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Seconded by Councilmember Rosengarten, will
There
say.
you go.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 All right. We are adjourned at 6:41 p.m.
Lightning speed. Look at that.